about the salah. Right? The brother says about the salah and so on. But what is important about that? Okay? All of us had meals here. Okay? And then before resuming, we all went for salah. Or it meant that all of us had to go and make wudu and then wait and so on. So they don't understand the psyche of Muslim. What makes them do that? What? Because no policeman is here. But you do it. 5 times a day you go for salah. They can't understand the driving force behind us. What actually drives us to obey the deen, which they can't do. Alright? They can't do it, but the Muslims do that. And this is important. When you as young people, okay, do not think when you go, for example, you live in Saudi Arabia or you live in other parts of the world where you are among Muslims, all right? Perhaps you come into contact with non-Muslims, understood. But if you are among Muslims, all right, and then you come out into a society where it's integrated, you find different type of people living together, all right? And then you feel that, you know what I should do? I should not be so strict a Muslim. It happens because human nature. Let me not do that, okay? So I'll tell you that the people in the West, I lived in America. The people in the West, if you follow no, I'm not talking about the state. I'm not talking about the country, the people in authority. The people themselves, they respect you more if you follow your religion, if you follow what you believe in. They respect you more than for you to become like them. We think that, they want us to be like them. They don't want us to be like them. They want to, because they want to see you different than them. And they appreciate you, they admire you. And I'll tell you one incident that happened. One Sudani brother invited us for supper at his house. All right, he invited us supper at his house. And then he called all the Muslims. There were female Americans, non-Muslims, because we're in a school of religion. So he said, all of you are invited for supper at my home. So now when we came at the door, all the Muslims removed their shoes to go inside. But he said, you don't have to. You are not a Muslim, don't worry. You know what they did? They say, if you do it, we are going to do it. So they refused to come in with their shoes. So you must understand that when you go in the world, when you travel in the world, remain a committed Muslim, you'll be respected more than if you fall away. I mean, if you become lukewarm Muslim, so they call that. We can use the media to project Islam. All right, 3 questions. There was a young man who went overseas to study for quite a long time. When he returned, he asked his parents to find him a religious scholar or an expert who could answer him his 3 questions. Finally, his parents were able to find a Muslim scholar. Young man, who are you? Can you answer my questions? I am one of Allah's slaves, and inshallah, God willing, I will be able to answer your questions. So the young man is questioning that Muslim scholar. And the young man, are you sure? A lot of professors and experts were not able to answer my questions. So the scholar said, I will try my best with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then the young man says, I have 3 questions. Is the question 1, does God exist? If so, show me his shape. All right, so the first question. So, and the second one, what is taqdeer? Now, taqdeer, they put it as fate here. All right, and we spoke about fatalism and so on. So it's actually taqdeer is predetermination. It is in the knowledge of Allah it will happen. But the taqdeer of one person can change. It can change. Yeah. And then the third one was, if Shaitan, devil, was created from the fire, why at the end he will be thrown to hell that is also created from fire? This is a very important question. You see the answer given. It certainly will not hurt him at all, since Shaitan and the hell were created from fire. So we'll answer the question now. Did God think of this? Did God think of this far? So he's questioning the scholar and showing that, God, he didn't think about when he tells you about Islam or what we believe in about Jahannam and all, he did not think about that. So now this is the answer that is going to happen. Suddenly the scholar slapped the young man's face very hard. young man felt the pain, and then, why do you get angry at me? So the young man said, why do you get angry at me? So then the scholar said, I'm not angry. The slap is my answer to your question. I really don't understand. How do you feel that after I slapped you? Of course I felt the pain. He said, how did you feel? He said, of course I felt the pain. So do you believe that pain exists? So he says, yes. The young chap says, yes. Show me the shape of the pain. He wanted to show Allah, the shape of Allah. So he said, I cannot. So that is my first answer. All of us feel Allah's existence in the world. All right, we look at the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and feel His existence without being able to see His shape. Last night, did you dream that you will be slapped by me? So he says, no. Did you ever think that you will get a slap from me today? He said, no. That is taqdeer. So he said, this is taqdeer. My second answer, my hand that I used to slap you, what is it created from? Now this is the last one, and this is important for you to think about. It is created from flesh. All right. How about your face? What is it created from? He say from flesh. He say, how do you feel after I slapped you? He says in pain. So he said, that's it. This is my third answer. Even though shaitan, devil, and also the hell were created from the fire, if Allah wants the hell, He will become a very painful place for shaitan. All right, so this is the way we must make. We have to make people understand, use the modern technology to convey the message of Islam. Allah said, if you are ashamed of me, I'll be ashamed of you. If you are not ashamed, pass this message on only if you believe. Okay? Yes, I love Allah. Allah is my fountain of life and my savior. Allah keeps me going day and night. Without Allah, I'm no one, but with Allah, I can do everything. Allah is my strength. May He help us, help you to succeed. Ameen. Allah does exist. This is one of the best explanations of why Allah allows pain and suffering that I have seen. A man went, this is another thing about, they ask you, does God exist? Of course, you know, as young people, the best thing is not to enter into debates about whether Allah exists or not, but you must use your little hikmah in answering this question. Don't enter into lengthy debates trying to prove that God exists. You don't need to do that. We're wasting time to do that. But look at the hikmah here. All right? A man went to the barber shop to have his hair cut and his beard trimmed. As the barber began to work, they began to have a good conversation. They talked about so many things and various subjects when they eventually touched on the subject of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The barber said, I don't believe that Allah exists. Na'udhu billah. Why do you say that? Asked the customer. Well, you just have to go out in the street and realize that Allah doesn't exist. Tell me, if Allah exists, would there be so many sick people? Would there be abundant children? If Allah exists, there would be neither suffering nor pain. I can't imagine a loving Allah who would allow all these things. The customer thought for a moment, but didn't respond because he didn't want to start an argument. The barber finished his job and the customer left the shop. Just after he left the barber shop, he saw a man in the street with long, stringy, dirty hair and untrimmed beard. He looked dirty and unkempt. The customer turned back and entered the barber shop again and said to the barber, you know what? Barbers do not exist. All right, he said, Allah exists. He said, barbers do not exist. He said, how can you say that? Asked the surprised barber. I'm here and I'm a barber and I just worked on you. No, the customer exclaimed. Barbers don't exist because if they did, there would be no people with dirty long hair, untrimmed beard like that man outside. All right, so this is the hikmah that you use. But barbers do exist. That's what happens when people do not come to me. So he says, barbers do exist, but this is what happens when they don't come to me. So he exactly affirmed the customer. That's the point. Allah too exists. That's what happens when people do not go to Him and don't look to Him for help. That's why there's so much pain and suffering in the world. All right. If you think Allah exists, send this to other people. But if you think Allah does not exist, delete it. Be blessed and be a blessing unto others. How we can make use of the media, okay? At times, when you feel at the end of your rope, there's a lot of suicide cases. I don't know in Saudi Arabia how it is, but young people, even in South Africa, many of them, the suicide cases, they intihar. Many of people become, you find it's no hope, all right? So they commit suicide. So at the end of your rope, trapped and depressed, what should you do? Cry in despair? They're asking you, what should you do? Get angry and turn into a monster? Get drunk? Take drugs? No. Even if you feel very sad, like a fool, lonely, guilty, afraid, and inferior, remember that there is someone who really cares about you, always looking after you, really loves you. Guess who? Allah. Who Allah. All right? So this is how you can make use of the media for you to project Islam. And we have Islamic words of wisdom. This is a nice one. This is Islamic music, all right? It's not haram, all right? You must read that, eh? You know what Yusuf Islam said? The young people, they like music, so introduce music, you know? Yusuf Islam, you know him. And so everything what the Quran says, read out beautifully, see that.
I'm not a terrorist or a dangerous. I don't live in a tent or keep my wife simple. And for the record, I knew who she was before I married her too. I have more than just white robes and sandals in my closet, and I've never actually rode a camel before.
The stereotyping of Muslims.
And yes, that is the Quran, and I don't care about it in an airport because it's the greatest book ever. My name is Muhammad, and I am a Muslim.
This is how we can project Islam. Okay. وَكُلُّ عَامٍ وَأَنْتُمْ بِخَيْرٍ inshallah.
One of the things that I've been saying is that a minority community needs to be like the bee. In the Quran, the bee is a very tiny insect. And you find that the community of bees is a very, very highly organized and a productive community. That bees are masters in the manner in which they're producing the honey and things like that. And one of the fact that they are producing honey, which is a rahmah and a shifa for who? It's not for the bees, but it is for everybody else out there. And like that, a minority community needs to operate within a non-Muslim environment in a similar manner, where you are providing benefit to those outside your community. And that can be done if you are highly organized. The other thing is that even the bee, Allah has given it the ability to protect itself. The elephant will run away from the bees. And like that, the minority community needs to take measures to even protect their own interests and things like that. And this, I think, is one of the ways that we should operate. Okay, at this point, we had Ahmed Shaikh on behalf of IPCI and all the participants. We like to thank Region for hosting us and in this excellent facility that you have got over here, and for the very good meals that you provided for us. May Allah bless this institution. May this institution grow and serve the people in South Africa and the rest of the world. And on behalf of IPCI, if I can just present to Ahmed Shaikh a small token of appreciation. Ahmed Shaikh, for the most dessert and things like that. We couldn't do much more.